Hey everybody, this is Shenandoah County Sheriff Timothy Carter, and again I'm out here at the Shenandoah County Fair at the Veterans Day celebration, and I've got two veterans here with me and two friends of mine, two icons as far as I'm concerned here in Shenandoah County. I've known them for a long time, and special guest with us today on The Source, and with us we have Vito Gentile. Vito, thanks so much for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Vito, let's see, Mount Jackson area, outside of Mount Jackson is where Vito lives now.
West of Mount Jackson.
West of Mount Jackson, that's right.
Pretty far west of Mount Jackson.
Yeah. And another special guest we have with us this morning is Art LaFlam. Art from Woodstock, I guess?
Yes.
Yeah. Art is the guy that everyone sees out on the interstate. And I've been out there with Art a few times out on the interstate.
Several times.
Yeah. And anyway, guys, I want to thank you for spending just a few minutes of your time with me this morning. And we're trying to feature veterans on our podcast this week and the Shenandoah County Fair. And go ahead, Vito, and tell us a little bit about your service to our country, if you can. What organization you serve with, when did you serve, and that kind of thing.
I spent 21 years in the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
I enlisted on the 30th of June of 1969 and served on active duty for 21 years until July 1st of 1990.
Right.
I started out as an enlisted man, completed my recruit training at Parris Island, infantry training at a infantry training regiment at Camp Lejeune. Originally enlisted to be an aviation man.
Right.
But while I was in recruit training, I was screened for officer candidate school
Mm-hmm.
and reported for Quantico in January of 1970 at the officer training school, OCS.
Right.
And was commissioned early in that year. Completed my basic training at Quantico, and my first assignment was at Camp Lejeune,
Mm-hmm.
before going to Westpac Forces, where I served in the 4th Marines.
Mm-hmm.
Had subsequent tours at Headquarters Marine Corps, at Quantico, back to Camp Lejeune, where I was the CEO of India Company 6 Marines,
Mm-hmm.
and a second tour at Headquarters, a second tour in the West Pacific,
Right.
with the Force Service Support Regiment in the Logistics Billet, back to Headquarters Marine Corps in Public Affairs, and my final tour was at Camp Lejeune from 88 to 90.
Right. Gosh, that was a good career. A lot of traveling, and I'm sure you saw a lot of neat places that you were able to visit.
Yeah, overseas,
Yeah.
med cruise, a Caribbean cruise,
Right.
and then 2 tours in the Western Pacific.
Right. How about you, Art? Tell us a little bit about your service career.
Well, it was just a couple of years after Kennedy had been shot. And when that happened, what he had said that, ask not what your country can do for you.
Right.
Ask what you can do for your country. That rang in my head for the next couple of years. And as soon as I graduated from high school, I volunteered for the Army. I am very humbled to be in the presence of such a Marine and such a everything that he has done.
Mm-hmm.
I just spent one tour. I spent one hitch with the Army. I did have the opportunity of spending 3 tours in Vietnam. My first one over with the 25th Infantry Division back in '66.
All right.
My second tour was with an artillery unit, and my third tour was with a MAC-V. I was the light weapons advisor for Vietnamese infantry. We slept with them. We ate what they ate. We were with them 24/7.
Right.
We were there during Tet, and I'm, the people that don't know anything about Tet, it's well worth looking it up to see what Tet in '68 was.
Mm-hmm.
With the Vietnamese, we were actually at ground zero on 2 different human wave attacks.
Mm-hmm.
I was honored with a Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry with Bronze Star,
Mm-hmm.
Vietnamese Medal of Honor with Bronze Star First Class, Vietnamese Medal of Honor Second Class, and 3 American Bronze Stars.
Mm.
And that was all in a period, by the time that I had achieved those, I still couldn't buy a drink here in the United States because I
Right.
wasn't 21.
Right.
But that
Yeah.
I spent 3 tours back to back to back in Vietnam, and
Yeah.
that was my entire. I would like to have stayed in the Army, but the only thing that they would guarantee me is 30 days back in the States, and then I'd be right back in Nam for another 13 months. And I
Yeah.
said, you can only push that so far.
Right. I tell you, I was talking to someone that came in earlier, and that time you spent away from home is it's hard for people to imagine that you would give that time of your life. But when we talk about service, I mean, that's what people do. They basically put their lives on hold, and especially when you're in a foreign country. I mean, you're there, and it's probably not easy work. I mean, it's probably. I mean, it's not like you're staying in a hotel, and you got to shower every day, and you got all this, the amenities that you have here. You don't know where you're going to lay your head at night sometimes, and I'm really thankful that that I have the opportunity to know people like you, and I'm thankful for other people like yourselves that actually put their lives on hold, and they did those things for me and the rest of our country, and says a lot about a person's character as far as I'm concerned. So now, you guys, are you part of any specific veterans organizations that you wanted to talk a little bit about while you're here, Vito?
Well, specifically today, I'm with the Shenandoah Valley Marines.
Okay.
And we're a very informal group. We're not part of any larger organization. We're just a group of Marines that meet every month for lunch.
Right.
And we meet the second Wednesday of the month at 11:30 at the Southern Kitchen in New Market. And for an hour or an hour and a half, we just share fellowship. We're just Marines. Doesn't matter whether you were ground or air, officer or enlisted, man or woman. If you served in a Marine uniform, you're welcome. And we have common memories to share of having been on active duty, having gone through training, and having served wherever in the Corps. We represent all MOSs, all specialties, all duty stations, service in war, service in peace. Our common identity is that we were all Marines, and we meet every month. And it's something that we all look forward to. On any given second Wednesday, there might be as many as 30 of us that join together to break bread. And we have a smaller group because we're in the southern part of the county.
Right.
We deliver Meals on Wheels as a group. At one point, there were 6 churches and the Valley Marines that delivered Meals on Wheels in the Timberville area.
Right.
And we still do that. It's less frequent now because we don't go to people's homes as often. But nevertheless, it's a need that we help to fill. And any Marine is welcome to join our group, as I say, the second Wednesday of every month at the Southern Kitchen in New Market. You just sit down and break bread together.
Right. It does sound a little cliche, but I got to tell you, my service, it is a different world. And I find that I still do things today that come from that basis that you have as my time serving. And I was telling someone earlier also with regard to some of the younger staff members that we get, those with prior military service. You can tell they're good communicators because you have to communicate when you're in the service, regardless of what branch, in my opinion. I mean, because you have, not just your peers, but your, the various rank structure, whatever you're doing or whatever the task is. And it just seems like it gives you that foundation for these young people. And, I just wanted to mention that when you were talking a little bit about it. Even though you guys are just meeting and it's informal, you're still serving. May not be serving your country as you did before, but you're still serving your community and you're serving people that need that support. So I really do appreciate that, Vito. Art, is there any organization you want to touch on while you're here?
Well, I belong to the Vietnam Veterans of America, and now it's been opened up to anyone who served in the service between, I believe it's 55 and 75 now, and also for a life membership right now, it's only $50 for a life membership.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's awesome all the way around. I also belong to the VFW, the American Legion, Sons of the American Revolution. And it's, to me, regardless of the organization, it's all about the flag.
Right.
And that's one of the biggest reasons that I'm out there on the bridge, and you have people continually asking, why do you do what you do? Which to me is, a lot of times I don't understand from the people even asking that question.
Right.
But one of the things that is just, I have to be there. One of the first times that I went to the wall in Washington, D.C., I made a vow to stand tall to every name on that wall and to wave Old Glory with pride.
Right.
And that's why I'm out there.
Well, I tell you, Art, with all the stuff that's out there, with what I think, sometimes I think people don't understand that the reason you can sit out there and complain and carry on like some of these people do out here, it's because of people going out there and standing up for the flag and defending the flag.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, the flag is more than just a piece of cloth. It's an idea, and it's it's our values here in our country. And when you go out and you defend the flag, and you're allowing people that if they have discord, if they want to voice their discord, that's fine. But
Right.
I think sometimes they forget the reason they can have that voice is because of people like you and people like Vito here, and what sacrifices that you all have given, and sacrifices that others that didn't get to come home.
You're absolutely
But
right.
out there. Yeah, it's very disappointing for me to see stuff like that when people are so negative about their own country. And I know we're not supposed to get into hardball stuff here, guys, but I got to tell you, I mean, it really is disappointing for me to see people that are so dismissive and so negative about their own country and not understand that the reason you can be that negative and that dismissive is because of the sacrifices that other people have made. And if you want to go to a place, there are plenty of places out there in the world. If you want to go to a place and you want to complain about the government and complain about what's going on in that particular part of the world, I'm sure they'd let you in, but I don't think you would have the same reaction there as far as the freedoms that we enjoy here, me personally.
One of the things that I don't think that they realize is that all of these other nations, when they want freedom, look whose flag they're waving.
That's right.
And if because they want to be able to go to a country that they can be free in.
Right.
If we lose our freedom here, where do we go?
Right.
We're the last stand. We're it.
Right. I'm with you.
There is no place to go, so we have to stand for our freedom.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you, and I appreciate it. And Vito, Art, is there anything that I've missed or anything you'd like to say or anything before we leave today? I appreciate your time. Just giving me a few minutes of your time, giving my listeners a few minutes of your time, and also appreciate your service to our country. Thank you so much. But if there's anything you have, or we let you go.
Well, I think Art has hit it very well. People come here to enjoy freedom.
Mm-hmm.
They come here to get the maximum for themselves and for their families, but to be able to live as they wish to live. And everybody comes here.
Mm-hmm.
And we welcome them. But when they come here, they become Americans. And that's always been the promise of America.
Right.
And that's always been why we love the flag and why we defend the flag and why we wear the uniform.
Right.
So that hasn't changed.
Right.
And I would like to thank you, sir, for all that you do and all that the sheriff's department does.
Guys, I appreciate it. Yeah.
And it is awesome when they go across the bridge and let us know they appreciate that flag.
Yeah. Well, again, guys, thank you all so much for giving me a few minutes of your time today, and thank you so much for your service to our country. And this is a great event that they're having out here, and I encourage people to come out here and go to all the events and show support for our veterans in Shenandoah County. So thank you again.
And thank you, Sheriff, for all
yes.
that you do.
Yes, sir. So again, I had with me today Vito Gentile and Art LaFlam, veterans here in Shenandoah County, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to us here on The Source. You can find this and other content on all our social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can find all of our other podcasts on my YouTube channel. That's at Sheriff Tim Carter. While you're there, go ahead, subscribe, smash that like button, or click the bell and get future notifications. Again, thank you so much. This is Tim Carter at The Source, and have a great day.